Welcome to the 20 facts about Indonesia. Number 1. The Japanese Empire occupied the Dutch East Indies, now Indonesia, during World War II from 1942 until the end of the war in 1945. This was one of the most critical periods in the Indonesian history. The Netherlands could not defend its colony against the Japanese army because it was under German occupation. After the war ended, the Dutch colonial rule also ended. Number 2. The Indonesian Path is probably the bloodiest harvest festival. It's a way of celebrating the rice planting season. The game is played by two different groups of men by throwing wooden spears to the opponents while riding horses. As you can guess, getting injured is something normal. Dying, however, is not as usual, but it still happens. Number 3. The 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami occurred on 26 December. The shock had a moment magnitude between 9.1 and 9.3. It predominantly affected Aceh, Indonesia. The total number of deaths was estimated at 230,000 people. Indonesia wasn't the only country affected. People from 14 countries died because of the waves with a height of 30 meters. It was the third largest earthquake ever recorded, and it highly impacted both the economy and the environment of the country. It also displaced the North Pole by 2.5 centimeters. Number 4. Borobudur Temple in Central Java is the largest Buddhist temple in the world, decorated with 2,672 relief panels and 504 Buddha statues. It was built in the 9th century, being one of the greatest Buddhist monuments in the world. The temple consists of 9 stacked platforms, 6 square and 3 circular, topped by a central dome. However, there is no written record of who built the Borobudur or of its intended purpose. Number 5. Krakatoa is a volcanic island situated between the islands of Java and Sumatra. The 1883 eruption of Krakatoa was one of the deadliest and most destructive volcanic events ever recorded, with over 36,000 deaths being attributed to the eruption itself and the tsunamis it created. The explosion is considered to be the loudest sound ever heard in modern history, with reports of it being heard up to 4,800 kilometers from its point of origin. Number 6. The Gelora Bung Karno main stadium is one of the biggest stadiums in the world. The stadium is located in central Jakarta and is named after Sukarno, Indonesia's first president. It is mostly used for football matches and has a seating capacity of over 81,000 spectators, but during special matches it has been able to hold more than that. The construction began in 1960 and finished in 1962. The construction cost of almost $20 million was partially funded through a loan from the Soviet Union. Ever since it was finished in 1962, it hosted many international events. Its original capacity was 120,000 people, which would have made it the largest today. Number 7. Lake Toba is the largest volcanic lake in the world. The lake is about 100 kilometers long, 30 kilometers wide and up to 505 meters deep. Lake Toba is the site of a massive supervolcanic eruption that occurred about 70,000 years ago. It is the largest non-explosive eruption on Earth in the last 25 million years, killing most of the humans living at that time. Number 8. The Komodo Dragon, which is found only in Indonesia, is the largest known lizard in the world, growing up to 3 meters in length. They have a venomous bite, they are excellent swimmers, and as a result of their size, these lizards dominate the ecosystems in which they live in. They are obviously dangerous, being able to consume 80% of their body weight in one sitting, killing all kinds of things from humans to their own babies. Number 9. The population of Indonesia is 237.6 million, the 4th highest in the world, and has a high population growth of 1.9%. Indonesia currently possesses a relatively young population with a median age of only 28.2 years. The population is expected to grow to around 269 million by 2020 and 321 million by 2050. An additional 8 million Indonesians live overseas. Most of them are settled in countries like Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Japan, Netherlands, United States and Australia. Number 10. Frequent ferry services cross the straits between Norby Islands, especially in the chain of islands stretching from Sumatra through Java to the lesser Sunda Islands. This happens because Indonesia is the largest archipelago in the world with more than 18,000 islands. Over half of the population lives in Java, the world's most populated island. Number 11. Indonesia was the 10th top natural gas producer in 2009 and the 5th coal producer in the world. Indonesia has significant energy resources, having the equivalent of 10 years of oil production and 50 years of gas production. The Grasberg mine is the largest gold mine in the world and the third largest copper mine in the world, having 19,500 employees. The workings include a very large open pit mine, an underground mine and 4 concentrators. In 2013, a training facility tunnel collapsed, trapping at least 33 workers underground and 17 lost their lives. Number 12. Indonesia is one of the most visited countries in Asia. Both nature and culture are major components of Indonesian tourism. The heritage tourism is focused on the Indonesian history, such as the colonial architectural heritage of the Dutch East Indies era. The activities, among others, are visiting museums, churches, forts and historical colonial buildings. Since January 2011, Wonderful Indonesia has been the slogan of an international marketing campaign. In 2015, over 10 million international visitors entered Indonesia, spending on average over a week and over $1,000 per person. Number 13. Indonesia is the world's biggest exporter of frog legs. During the last decade, Europe imported over 5,500 tons annually, France, Belgium and the Netherlands being the main importers in Europe. Frog legs are one of the delicacies of French and Chinese cuisine, but are consumed in many parts of the world, including Portugal, Spain, Albania, Slovenia, Greece, India and the southern regions of the United States. They are very healthy, and if you wonder how it's like to eat frog legs, many people said that they taste like chicken. Number 14. Indonesia has a mixed economy in which both the private sector and the government play very important roles. The country is the largest economy in Southeast Asia, its estimated GDP as of 2016 being $936 billion. Historically, the economy has been heavily weighted towards agriculture. Indonesia was the 25th biggest exporting country in the world in 2014, moving up by 5 places from the previous 5 years, and the percentage is constantly increasing by around 7%. In 2014, Indonesia was the 27th largest importer in the world, and they are increasing annually by around 12%. Number 15. The most popular sports are badminton and football. Indonesian players have won the World Team Championship of men's badminton half of the times it has been held since 1949, as well as many Olympic medals. On the international stage, Indonesia has experienced limited success despite being the first Asian team to qualify for the FIFA World Cup, as Dutch East Indies in 1938. Basketball and boxing are also very popular in Indonesia. Number 16. Indonesia is strict when it comes to religion. Muslims make up 87.2% of Indonesian population, which makes it the world's largest Muslim nation. The second largest religion in Indonesia is Christianity, represented by 9.9% of the population. In Indonesia, 2 individuals of different religions cannot legally marry unless one of them converts. Number 17. Indonesia is extremely culturally diverse. In fact, there are over 300 ethnic groups in Indonesia, each with their own traditions and beliefs. In November 2010, Barack Obama visited Indonesia, praising it as an example of how a nation can embrace democracy and diversity. Country's national motto is Unity in Diversity, or literally, many yet one. This shows how diversity shapes Indonesia. Number 18. Indonesia's high population and industrialization produce serious environmental issues. One of the biggest issues is the large-scale deforestation, which also impacts the economy because much of it is illegal. Much of Indonesia's deforestation is caused by forest clearing for the palm oil industry. Indonesia has the world's highest rate of deforestation, followed by Brazil. The situation in Indonesia is bad, but it's slowly improving. Number 19. Jakarta is the capital and the most populous city of the Republic of Indonesia. Jakarta is the country's economical, cultural and political center, with a population of over 10 million, being one of the most populous cities in the world. It was established in the 4th century, it suffers from extreme traffic congestion, and during the rush hour no one can drive a car with less than 3 passengers. Number 20. Suharto was the second president of Indonesia, holding the office for 31 years from 1987 until his resignation in 1998. He died in 2008 at the age of 86. During his lifetime he broke the world record for the most corrupt leader of all time, embezzling between 15 billion and 35 billion US dollars. On 29 May 2000, Suharto was placed under house arrest when the Indonesian authorities began to investigate the corruption during his presidency. He was accused of stealing 571 million US dollars and then using the money to finance family investments. However, it was announced that he could not stand trial because of his declining health. The state prosecutors tried again 2 years later, but the doctor cited an unspecified brain disease. Thank you for watching this video, I really hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to press the subscribe button so you don't miss any video. Also, don't forget to share the video with your friends and leave your opinion in the comment section below. See you next time.